fun and fabulous Lily. I am over the moon already about this conversation. I'm so excited. We met on a Caribbean cruise earlier this year, the Abraham Hicks cruise, which was so fun. And listener, I was just making my way to my seat in the theater and was talking to somebody a couple of rows back, and Lily was next to me and said, asked me a question, and we had a brief conversation. She handed me a business card. I said, I have to have you on the podcast, and that's it. You're completely caught up. So all of this is new and fabulous, and we get to know each other in real time together. Super long way to say thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be on your show.
I love the quote unquote random ways that we connect with people and then find out as we hold space for each other how it would have been impossible for us to not connect. And I know that that's what this conversation is going to reveal as well. So thank you so much again for being here. I would love to start by asking how you are saying yes to yourself in this season.
Well, that's a really great question. And I love that that is your opening question because for me, I was a single mom with two kids, and I always said yes to my children. And I've
Mm,
decided to say yes to me. And believe it or not, that's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. To pick
right?
me. I'm picking me. I'm choosing me. So
And
I'm
isn't it?
turning, yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead. No, please.
I was saying I'm turning 50 this year, and I'm finally empty nesting it for the first time. I started early. My kids are 23 and 26. So I have made a list of all the things that I still felt I wanted to do. And I realized there's this long list of I'll do it later, I'll do it later. So I started going through that list. And you know what? It's been really, really fun.
Oh my gosh, I love that. We had a woman on the show, Stacy Berkovitz, that wrote a book called Naked at 50. But the year she turned 50, she made a list of 50 new experiences to have. And one of the last ones was to go to a nudist colony. So,
Ah,
hence the name of the book. But she categorized them, all of the things she did in the book. So, there might be a book in there for you as well.
probably.
That's so fun. I also love that, and I'm assuming this was your experience as well, that we realize that when we say yes to ourselves, everybody else wins. Like everybody wins. The
Hmm.
benefits of filling our cup first and giving
Yes.
from the overflow, giving from our saucer is is a far more sustainable model than the conditioning we received growing up that is just give, 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 give. And that's what it means to be a good person, a good mom, a good Christian, a good woman, whatever, a good friend, a good daughter, all like there are so many roles that we're requiring us to give 100% of ourselves. That is not a sustainable model.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one of the things I realize is why I'm doing so much for others is because there's an element of guilt when it comes to my children. And
Mm.
another element of, I wish I had this. I wish someone had given me this. And so therefore I'm giving that to someone else. But what I have realized is just because you give something to someone, that doesn't help them. Maybe they need to go through that journey themselves. And there's actually a part of myself that needs healing in order for me to not feel the need to have to give something that I thought I needed. And maybe I did need that, but because I didn't have it, how did I grow and evolve into the person that I am now? So, changing those two things has actually changed my energy, my mindset, and my belief about myself. So, it's been really fascinating. And it actually is better for my children because now I'm not giving them everything they need because I feel guilty. I'm having boundaries. And I think that energetically helps them be stronger and shift for them something where they can actually just evolve more and more to the person that they are and who they're meant to become.
Oh, I love that so much. How did you do that? And how did you witness your children experiencing you showing up in a different way?
Yeah, so that's definitely very hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's like training your dog or, by
Yeah.
leaving the house or crate training. It's very difficult because
Yeah.
they're so needy. And even though they're adults, they need me a lot, but it's different the way they need me. I can see that. And I think I just had to be firm and then realize that I have to be firm in saying no and switching the conversations or just being firm with myself to allow the energy to shift. That's all I think it was. I had to be firm in myself to allow the energy to shift. And I didn't even have a conversation with them. It was just me doing it for myself.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. How did you how how did you not have a conversation? Because you may have gathered, I am a verbal processor. I would have had a really hard time. In fact, I made a similar shift about 5 years ago, and it resulted in the ending of my marriage. And there were a lot of words around that, but they were more trying to convince the other person to support this new way of living because it was going to be so much better. But
Hmm.
they weren't available for the change.
Hmm.
So how did you I can't I'm just trying to imagine how that would be as a mom to not want to make sure that they understand exactly what your path is, and so that they can be really
Hmm.
excited about how you're not going to do everything for them anymore.
I think if I had the conversation, they would just be like, whatever, and roll their eyes. So
Right.
I feel for me, I just had to disengage because I do
Yeah.
everything for them. I really do. Being a single mom and having two kids, and I just did everything. And their father is not in the picture at all. So really, it was just me and them. And that's why I say a lot of what I was doing was coming out of guilt. And so
Right.
for me to realize that what I was doing was not allowing them to be the best versions of themselves. I think that was the turning point for me. But to tell them that when their mother does everything for them, why would they want their mother to stop doing everything for them?
Right,
That doesn't
right,
make sense.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And I think that's where we get in trouble because we think we need to explain, we think we need to convince, we need to bring them over to our side of the
Hmm.
argument so that they think it's a good idea. That's not going to happen, and it's not in service, and it's an energy leak, and it's a waste of
Hmm.
time, and it's an eye roll, as you mentioned, and all of it is an internal decision and internal work anyway, that you'll
I
get
agree.
more traction by just having that conversation with yourself and then
Hmm.
making the appropriate changes and course correcting. And, it's awkward until it's elegant for sure, but everyone's going to survive. It's going to be fine. And
They're
you
going to
will
survive.
thrive.
And that's where law of attraction comes in to hold my vibration and just allow everyone to start to magnetically shift with my new energy. So this is where I use law of attraction actually quite a bit with my family because we maybe often cannot have that dialogue. But if we change, everyone around us will automatically change. It's just how they change. So the stronger you hold your vibration and you're like, this is the new way, this is who I want to be, this is how I want to live my life, then it all comes into place. But it's holding the vibration. I think that's the biggest part because as soon as you waver, the energy changes and their energy changes. So it's really important for us to stay strong in the new intention or whatever your intentions are and to hold it
Oh,
and to
I
feel
love
worthy
that.
to be in that place.
Say more about that.
So when I first found law of attraction, I realized my biggest piece that I had to work on was to feel worthy to receive and to feel worthy to have abundance, to feel worthy to have love, to feel worthy. And so one of the reasons why I believe I manifested a partner that is no longer in my life that I have two kids with is because maybe I didn't feel worthy enough to have someone that would be around who would be a good father to my children. So I went through a lot of self analysis and looking at where my self worth was sitting. And that was the biggest one for me. And that's why my whole brand is based on self love and loving yourself unconditionally and finding where you are on the scale of self love and how to really amplify that. So by me saying, I choose me, that's me saying, I love myself and I'm going to enjoy this next stage because my kids are adults and they can do whatever they need to do. I've given them a very good life for a single woman and they've been
You've
on.
given them a very good life, period.
Yeah, especially being a single woman. They've done a lot of attraction cruises. My daughter's been to the workshops. So they understand all of these philosophies. They've been to India, they've meditated in ashrams, they've been in the presence of the Dalai Lama. Like they've had a
Wow.
very full spiritual life as well. So I feel like I've given them a lot of tools and a lot of experiences. They've traveled all over the world. Yeah, they have a good foundation to be the best versions of themselves.
That's amazing. I love that you were able to incorporate your experience and make available an experience of their own as well.
Hmm. I think that was important to me because I knew that once they became adults, I would live my own life. So I did everything while they were young and basically did all the things my parents didn't do for me. I gave that to them to give them a very, very unique, expanded version of what the world is like and what you can do with your life and how to live your life based on that.
That's so amazing. How did that transition go, and how long was it from when you decided that you were going to shift your attention and your physical interaction in doing things for them? How long was that process for you?
It was very short, maybe like a year.
Amazing.
So my
Amazing.
son was living with me, and I decided that it's not in his best interest to live with his mother, even though there was a separate suite, but he wasn't holding up to his end of the bargain. So then I asked him to move out, which he has, and he's been living on his own. And I think he is realizing that he had it really good. And that's his journey now. And I've let that go. And I'm like, that's his journey. He can live his
Mm.
life. That's his journey. And I think he realizes that's his journey too, and that he had it really well and did not know that. So now I'm empty nesting it. I'm loving it. And I'm making decisions based on me. The thing I love is having my own fridge. I never thought, oh my God, there's no junk food everywhere. It's organized the way I want it. If I need something, it's always there because I'm the only one eating it. It feels like a luxury having my own fridge and no
I love
temptations.
that.
I
Oh my gosh,
know.
it's so great.
I know. It's the first
Oh,
time in my
wow.
life that I'm
Fun.
living alone. I've never lived alone before. I've always had roommates or with my kids. So it's my first time ever living alone.
Oh,
Right?
congratulations.
I know. It's a dream come true.
Wow, I love that. It's so fun to celebrate these things
It is.
and to also understand that some people are really, really sad to be alone. And that, I mean, they get to own that experience as well. But I have a similar, I mean, I think I almost I want to say guilty pleasure, but I was introduced to a book. Well, I was introduced to a book a couple of years ago, but I finally gave myself permission to read it. It's called On Our Best Behavior: The Seven Deadly Sins and the Price Women Pay to Be Good. And I
Oh,
have referenced this book. I've referenced purchasing this book for years on the podcast. I felt like a better person just for buying it, but I did not read it because I figured I had an idea that I was probably going to be mad
mm,
when I read it, and I didn't want to be mad. And that is the whole point of the book, of these
mm,
seven deadly sins. So when I say guilty pleasure, like, oh, wait a minute, is that something that my conditioning says that it's guilty, or I'm just allowed to celebrate such a long way to a ham sandwich? Here's what I'm celebrating. I co-parent my daughter with my ex-husband. She's 11. She's amazing unicorn. I love her. She's the most amazing human I've ever met. And it is so fantastic to have 3 weekends a month that I know that I'm not momming, and
hmm
one whole week a month that I am not momming. And I don't have to make dinner and I can have calls that when I would normally be going to school pickup. And it's just fascinating. And I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm parenting like 50% the amount that I used to, and he's parenting 100% more than he ever did.
Hmm.
And I'm the only one that lives in this house unless I have farm stay guests. And I go to France for beautiful culinary trips and I host a podcast. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm onto something over here. And
You are.
and it feels like, ooh, do I tamp down that celebration? Do I embrace that celebration? Do I utter it out loud? I mean, thankfully, I have this beautiful container that I can practice saying these things. But I also purchased a 30-acre farm that borders my property. It was originally a part of the 50 acres that was associated with my house when it was built in 1785. And I wanted to restore the property line. And it was in my heart. And I knew that it would be mine. And it came up for sale. And I did not know how I was going to do it. And I did it.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm excited. And I also
I'm
feel
excited.
like, ooh, is it safe to be excited? Is it safe to say that? Is that like, is someone going to think that? And I mean, oh my gosh, the nonsense that goes
Yes,
in our heads.
definitely. Well, I have something interesting to say about this because
Please
I
do.
feel that I have been going through an interesting conversation. One of the things that I've learned through law of attraction is I can hear my thoughts a lot more. So I can hear my
Mm,
negative thoughts, my positive thoughts, opinions versus intentions. That was something that came up on the Caribbean cruise, opinions versus intentions. And I thought, that's so interesting. That's a great clarification because that is two very different things. And one is just a repetitive thought that comes in your head. And one of them is actually something you desire, but those two can conflict each other. So when I first found Abraham Hicks and I did my first cruise in 2012, it changed my whole way of thinking because I was raised in a Hindu household and we believe that desire is not good. So I had to actually really incorporate the two philosophies, and that's how my system has kind of been born. I am a medical intuitive, and then I channeled the method a year actually after that cruise, less than a year after, that can reverse aging using energy healing. So basically, you can use energy healing to manifest the body, to reverse aging. I'm turning 50. You can see me right now. I look pretty good for 50.
you
Um,
look pretty good for 35.
yeah, thank you. I have
You're
great
welcome.
skin.
Yes, you
And
do.
so as I started, and the thing is, I actually manifested that first cruise. Someone gifted me that cruise, me and my two kids, and I never accept anything at that type of price point, but it was my son's dream trip, and he was 10 years old. So I said yes, because at that time, there's no way I could afford anything like that. And I never thought, oh my God, if I don't say yes, like we'll never be able to do this because I can't afford this. So I said yes, changed my whole life, signed up for the one the next year. Again, changed my whole life, just started manifesting everything because I released the limiting beliefs. What happened after that, this was 13 years ago, is that I just started manifesting everything. I also manifested a farm in Portugal, which I just sold, 33 acres.
Amazing.
I wanted to put a retreat center there. And same thing, I didn't know how the money was going to come. It just happened. And I was like, okay, this is insane. I built my dream house by the beach. That was my first home. I
Love
built this
it.
beautiful dream home right by the beach. From the rooftop patio, I could see the water in Vancouver, in a city where it's very, 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 very expensive in Canada. And now I live in my third dream home in Whistler, and I manifested this property. I knew this property was mine when I walked in, like this was my house. The house found me. I have this destiny, and I live here all alone, and it's 4,000 square foot. And everyone's like, "Why do you live in that big house?" And I was like,
Because
because I
I
like
like
it. It's
it.
got this incredible view. Like, this is my view.
It's gorgeous.
And so I started to feel pushback from people because
Yeah.
other people were not able to manifest it. And I said, well, I manifest it. And they go, well, I follow law of attraction. And I thought, well, you don't go to the workshops, you don't go to the cruises, which is fine. And you're not applying it as intently as I am. I never said that. But I started to feel this energy around me and how people just started to get negative feedback, but they're also not applying it the same way. Maybe they don't understand it to that level, whatever that is. So I started to feel guilty. Guilt was a big thing in my field about having success and having excessive abundance, not from a little bit of abundance, but to excessive abundance. And that was a whole belief system that I'm actually still working through because it just keeps going up and up. And as the more you go higher, I find the more different people get triggered, or they say things like, oh, you've got so much ego, or why do you need all these things? And people are hungry in the world. You know, all of these narratives that people have. But there's something I was listening to either yesterday or today on the Caribbean cruise. And you talked about, well, if you give in to those people, that energy, you're also going into a state of struggle. I mean, everyone creates their reality, and the reality you create is based on your asking. So it's really about fine tuning, fine tuning, fine tuning, fine tuning, releasing limiting beliefs. And then that self worth element has to continue to go up, because does it really, is someone going to be happier if I'm less happy? No.
Nope.
Will they
No.
have more abundance if I have less?
Nope.
No, because they are the creators of their reality. So this is an interesting thing that I've been currently going through, because I find a lot of people find it a bit shocking. They
Mm-hmm.
find it shocking. And when I was on the cruise, what I love about it is to be around other like-minded people who are also just elevating, because they have the desire for it. And people say, well, how
Right.
much do you want? You know what? It feels good.
Right. I want all of it.
It feels good. It's actually,
Mm-hmm.
you're denying yourself your natural source connection by
Yep.
saying no. This is what I've noticed. You're just
Right. And that's
denying
why it
yourself that
feels
connection.
awful.
Yes.
It feels awful to say no because you're supposed to say yes.
You're supposed to say yes. And if that's how the universe delivers it, that's how the universe delivers it. The universe is abundant. No one ever says there's not enough oxygen to breathe if you breathe twice as fast as me. Does
That's right.
anyone ever say that?
Nope.
No.
Does
Does
everyone say,
anybody?
I just want enough oxygen to get by?
No, because
No.
we know that oxygen is limitless. In the same way, this is what I figured out. Abundance is limitless, and abundance is really your connection to your divinity. So when you are connected to source or soul or your divinity with a positive thought, like in your best positive mindset, that's what you're going to bring in. So that is the relationship of abundance, your connection to source with your connection to that high vibe place. So it's all about maintaining that. So the higher you maintain that, it's like the more oxygen you get. It's like when you're running and you're like, okay, I got to just take some deep breaths in and get that oxygen into my lungs. There's no limit of oxygen, and we have to think of money like that. And if you actually pair those two, you go, oh, I get it. It's just oxygen. That's all it is. It's just oxygen.
Yes. And yes. And yes. I love it so much. And it's true. It's
It's true.
true. And I know that sometimes our experiences are not a reflection of what we know to be true. So for
Mm-hmm.
you, how do you bridge that gap? Or how do you get back to what you know to be true? I mean, all of this, everything that resonates is just because we're remembering what we already know. It's not
Agree.
there's a new piece of information that someone's been hiding. It's actually
Totally.
like, oh, oh, I remember. I remember who I
Yeah,
am. And we are all just leading each other home. Like that's
we
all
are.
we're doing here. So when we have the understanding, the knowing, the certainty that the abundance that is there for me is has my name on it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
anybody else's. I'm not taking it from them. You take a piece of the pie, I take a piece of the pie. The pie is whole again. All of these things that we know to be true that are not um it is the leading edge of thought, and there's
Mm-hmm.
never a crowd on the edge. Like we know all
Mm-hmm.
of these things. So how do you continue to find your balance? So
Mm-hmm.
obviously when we're having a conversation like this, I don't feel like I need to catch my balance because we're
Yeah,
going in the same direction. The wind is at our
totally.
back. We're good. But
Yeah,
if I open my email and there's something from my divorce lawyer, it's like, oh, okay. All
yeah.
right. What do I know? How do I get back on? So what has been your practice?
So this is actually the key is the tools. What are the
Yeah.
tools that are going to help me stay integrated in that high place, a positive place? Or if you get that email and it's not what you like, how do you stop, take a breath, and then pivot? And so that is actually the key. That's really the key. I mean, sure, you can just be high, 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 which is great. But as soon as something traumatic or, something shocks the system, you're going to start to change your direction. So for me, I do love to meditate. Meditation is a big one. I've been meditating since I was 16. And I have actually beauty meditations on my website, which incorporate relaxation with some guided meditations that help to rejuvenate your cells. So it really looks at the body, mind, and soul, and then manifestation. So meditation, I think, is really key. Some people do not know how to meditate. One of the things I find is if you can actually hear your thoughts or tune into what you're feeling and just feel that and go, okay, well, I'm feeling, and become uber sensitive about your thoughts. So you can even just be like, oh, I feel angry. Okay, why am I angry? Well, I'm angry because this, let me think of a specific situation. I'm angry because this person wants this for me, and actually they owe me. So sometimes it's the way the energy is moving. So if we know it's because they want this, but really I feel they owe me and that's why I'm angry, well, we need to also stop and process all of these emotions. And that's what I have created is a process, really a step-by-step process on how to change your emotions. So acknowledging them, understanding, why is that person behaving the way they are? I mean, what can I do about it? Nothing. Well, what are the next steps for me? And then how do I diffuse that for my system? So going instead of
Mm.
just feeling angry and trying to be positive and change that anger with something positive, it's like actually analyzing the situation. We
Oh,
need to learn to do
yeah.
that. I think as a society, we need to learn how to pivot our negative emotions. I don't think there's enough training in that. So that's
Agreed.
one step. If it's like a limiting belief for me that comes up, sometimes I can see them. And I actually use this really fun technique, which I want to share, is I actually just saw it like a touch screen and I just hit the delete button and it just appeared. So just delete
Ooh,
that negative belief. Yeah, it's powerful.
I love that because there is
Yeah,
acknowledgement in that you've named it. You're acknowledging that that is a thing and you're ready to complete.
you're ready to complete. And so if you see it and have the awareness of it, that's usually the first step of letting it go. That's the hardest part. So if you can see it, that's powerful. And sometimes you have to diffuse the emotion behind it. And diffuse the emotion. Oh, it's because my mother said that to me all the time. Ah, well, does she say it today? No. Do you want to carry that? No. Do you want to just end that chapter and move on? Yes. Okay, well, then delete it. So going through this process. There was another one I wanted to share that I thought was really powerful, but that's not coming to me right now. But journaling is really good as well. And then, oh, I've created a tea line. So I have 3 loose leaf teas that are my 3 steps of manifestation. The first one is getting into the right vibe, getting into your vibrational vibe to manifest. The second one is self love, drawing in what you want. And the third one is aligning with your destiny path or astrology, as some would say. So these are my 3 steps. And I've created a beautiful blend of tea. So you can do tea leaf readings. And so when you add the hot water in the cup, it makes beautiful patterns. And it comes with instructions on how to do tea leaf readings. And then what I ask people to do, or the suggestion is you use the tool of the tea leaf reading to get insight on how to move beyond your limiting beliefs, how to let go of anger, whatever you feel is your blockage, whatever's blocking you, and how to heal my heart. How do I open my heart more? Because I want to bring in love. And so you use these teas as tools and the tea leaf readings as insight into your life for journaling and for meditation. So that's actually a tool I use almost every day. And it's really powerful because it feels very present and there's a lot of angelic energy that comes through. So I love that process as well.
So cool. How did you start? So you have this beautiful beauty line that
Mm-hmm.
is holistic in the sense that you are bringing these spiritual practices into these daily rituals for our, I mean, it's first of all, brilliant idea.
Thank
Yay,
you.
you. They're all the things that we need to, not need to do, that we desire to have a daily practice around anyway.
Hmm.
So the fact that you've put them together and that
Yeah.
you are the poster child of, which everyone go to YouTube and look at the video so you can see how gorgeous Lily is. She's so beautiful and
Oh,
light
thank you.
and yummy. So I love that you've done this. How did you get started? How did this come about? And then please share with us the product line, the system, like how does this all work?
So this is really exciting. So after I found Law of Attraction, not even a year later, I channeled this method that can reverse aging. So basically, I can use my hands to do facelifts, neck lifts. I put my magic finger on people's
Ugh,
foreheads, and the
I've been
wrinkles
coming
go
right
away.
over. I'm coming right
I
over for your magic fingers on my
know.
forehead. Oh my word.
And so basically, our cells know how to regenerate themselves, but something has happened to stop that process. Usually it's stress. And what I found by doing this energy healing modality, so I've channeled it, is that emotions are stuck in the cells and they're unprocessed emotions. When we release the emotion, then the cell can reset itself. And the energy healing that I offer starts to regenerate the cell because the cell's natural function is regeneration.
Right.
Remember that. But something
Yes.
happens to pivot it to degeneration. So all I'm doing is taking out whatever that is, which is usually an emotional block or karma, and then pivoting it back to regeneration. So that's how I reverse aging. So I created my own signature facial called the Cosmetic Energy Healing Facial that I've been doing for about 12 years now. And then during the pandemic, I created a skincare line. So my signature line is called Divine Rose. And that's why I asked you about your flower garden, because I love roses and it uses only essential oil. So it's very clean, it's vegan, natural, organic, all made in Canada. And even some of the ingredients my formulator grows on her farm and she distills it herself and puts it in the products. So there are farm to face products, which is a very cool concept, which I am in
Yeah.
love with. And we focus on
Same.
functional ingredients that regenerate the skin and that are also known to hydrate the skin, repair the skin. So we're not using fillers. You won't find any water in our formulations except for things like lavender water, chamomile water. Because if you look at your skincare, I bet you the number one ingredient is water. And the thing with water is once you have water in there, you have to have a chemical to stabilize it. So you have to have preservatives. So 4 out of my 5 products are oil based, so we don't have to have any preservatives. And they're very natural and they're made with edible ingredients because what you put on your skin goes into your body. And most people do not know this. So you should be able to eat everything you put on your skin. And
Mm.
that is a big aha. So a lot of people who cannot use any products can only use mine because of the quality of the ingredients that we use. They're very, very high quality. So I have a beautiful face serum that you can put after you wash your face. It's very beautiful, very hydrating. It's very popular. And the calendula is made on my formulator's farm. And the calendula helps to produce collagen. And then I have a face cream and it's in an aloe leaf based juice. So what that does is it is more hydrating and it's a very, very hydrating moisturizer, which I love. And then I have a lip plumping balm, which has energy healing in it and it naturally plumps the lip without fillers. And then something I love called the 1111 Magic Balm. So I channel this, you put it on the 11 lines between your eyebrows and on your forehead wrinkles, and it awakens your third eye and connects you to your divine team. So it's a very, very special balm that has magical powers that you can use before you meditate, before you do rituals. And I've just released my new fragrance, which is called Darshana. And Darshana means union of the self, and it's designed to smell like a temple in India. Because when you go to India and into a sacred temple, there's these beautiful flower stands outside that you can offer the flowers to the deities. Women have beautiful jasmine strings in their hair, and they have a ladies' queue and a men's queue. So when you're in the ladies' queue, you get all these smells of jasmine, and then there's incense in the temples and it smells so divine. So I made a fragrance that smells like a temple in India, and it has frankincense and sandalwood, like the incense you'd smell, roses, obviously, jasmine, and it's really divine. So when you put it on, it awakens your heart chakra, and it's a reminder that you are a temple.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I
I
love it.
love that. Oh my
I do
gosh, it's
too.
so fun.
It is, and it smells amazing.
I bet.
And
I
it's made
love
with,
that.
yeah, it's made with all pure essential oils. So a lot of the fragrances that you buy are in alcohol, and they take actually just a fragment of the chemicals from the flowers. So like the rose has 400 chemicals. They take a small fraction, put it in a lab, and then manipulate it there. So we are using two of the best rose absolute oils that you can buy. And there's the rose, I can't remember the name, so it's not on here. But one of the roses takes 5,000 kilos of rose petals to make 1 kilo of oil.
Oh my word.
Yeah, so it's all pure, 100% pure essential oils and then 100% organic jojoba seed oil base. So there's no alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's so fascinating, and thank you for explaining that because I think that there are some things that we do without thinking
yeah,
and not even blindly, but just I'm not a bad guy, so I don't think bad things are going to happen, or I don't think
totally,
somebody's like putting things in my food that I shouldn't eat. Like you're allowed
totally.
to do that? Oh my gosh, bad
I
form,
agree.
right? So I feel like kind of an idiot when I find something out that oh gosh, everyone probably knew that except for me because I just thought everything was fine. I never thought of oh wow, I should be able to eat everything I put on my skin. I do
Hmm.
know like about sunscreen. I'm really careful because you put it on the whole all of your skin and you don't want those chemicals. And I think more happened when I became a mom. It
Hmm.
just started paying attention more. But I was just reading something today from Adriana Schumann, who was on the podcast earlier this year and a presenter at one of our Say Yes summits in April about coffee. And she was talking about this Purity Coffee brand because the pesticides that are sprayed on the coffee beans, and there's mold, and there's like all of these impurities that are in the coffee beans that are not regulated in some manner or whatever, and
Hmm.
that it's causing weight gain and all of these things. And I thought, oh, good night. I can't even like
Hmm.
now I have to police my coffee also. What is happening? So I'm appreciative of the reminders. I'm appreciative of the responsibility that I have to be aware of well, I don't have to be in fear. No one's trying to poison me, whatever. Like I'm not
Hmm.
available for being sick. I'm not available for something in my coffee making me sick, but I want to be mindful and intentional about what I am doing and what I am using. So I'm so appreciative of all of the intention that has gone into your products because and I also love a story. And then of course your products are my favorite products because I know you. So that helps me feel good. So, all to say, thank you. Thank you for doing this and also for sharing the process because it is enlightening.
Hmm. It is. And that's what I realized when I became a beauty founder is that there is a lot of chemicals in the products we use and no one has any clue. And basically, I'm going to be honest with you, the
Mhm.
beauty industry is owned by men. They're owned by men. And what they want to do is make us feel insecure and make us feel like we need to buy 100 products so that we are worthy. And the reality is, you do not need 100 products, but if they can sell you 10 products for your morning ritual and 10 products for your evening ritual. That's 20 products they've just sold you. So the goal really for a lot of these beauty companies is just to make women feel insecure so that people spend more money, which increases their bottom line. And if you actually research it, most brands are owned by men. It's fascinating. I was shocked.
Fascinating. It
It's
is fascinating.
fascinating.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so,
Right?
and
It
that
makes me mad.
it
And
makes me
I mean, and
mad
men are
too.
lovely and I love them and they're fabulous and
They are.
they're doing the best they can with the tools they have. And I'm sure the first guy thousands of years ago that, translated a Bible verse in his own favor or started some sort of, I don't know, power hungry sect that made women feel small or be small, all these things. I want to say that they were well meaning, but I don't have to see it's that book. It's the I'm on my best behavior. I don't want to offend a man by saying I'm mad. So let me just rephrase this. That makes me mad.
It makes me mad too. So, what I love about my brand is that it is 100% female founded and it's South Asian owned. I'm the South Asian. And it's a very small, there's a very small amount of South Asian beauty founders. And the, believe it or not, a lot of the brands out there are not 100% female founders because it's harder for us.
Right.
It just, I'm a small company trying to compete with big companies who can produce something for a lot cheaper because they're making so many units. But the
Right.
thing people need to realize when they start making this, when they make their decisions is what's in it, who are they supporting,
Yeah.
how are we going to change the industry? You got to, I really think it's important to shop indie brands. I
I
think
agree.
consumers need to really think about the purchasing power they have.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Yes. Back to the chemicals, only because
Mm-hmm.
I was just remembering, and one of the things that made me start thinking about what in the world is in this stuff. I don't even wear makeup. My mom didn't wear makeup,
Neither.
so I didn't know how to do it. But Amelia loves makeup. She's 11.
Mm-hmm.
She's having the best time.
Yeah.
But I don't want her just putting any makeup on. Like, I want it to be good for her and safe for her and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a lipstick that was really it. Anyway, I won't say how I got it, but I was using this lipstick and it's like a permanent lipstick or a long lasting one. But when I put it on, it smells like paint that you would paint your house with. And
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, for goodness sakes, that can't be good for my
No.
body. And it's on my skin, which is my biggest organ. And what is
Yeah.
happening?
Yeah, it's true. If you actually start researching what we put on our faces and in our bodies, it's really quite shocking. And so I also don't wear makeup because I grew up with eczema, which is one of the reasons why my products are so high quality because I can't put anything on my skin. I
I
can't
have
even wear.
rosacea.
Yes. Oh, yes. So you'd love the face cream because there's
Mm,
ingredients in there that are going to help you with rosacea. A lot of people have
nice.
said that it's cured their acne. That's how good the
Amazing.
functional ingredients are. It's a very, very concentrated formula because, again, without the water, we don't have to put the preservatives in, and then it uses less packaging because it's a sustainable brand. Everything comes in glass, and it's all recyclable. All the packaging is recyclable. Um, so one of the things that I learned as well is when we have lip products, you eat 20% of your lip products. So
Hmm.
my lip balm is actually colored with beetroot, and we have a little bit of stevia in it for the flavor as well. But you would be surprised what they, I don't even know how it's legally possible because if you look at skincare is in a category where it's highly regulated. The second you go to makeup, there's different rules because skincare,
Hmm.
they want to look at it from research based. Everybody wants science backed ingredients. And so in order to make claims, it has to be research based, science backed. You have to, test things in a lab. But with makeup, it's different because you're not making any claims about anti-aging. So that's in a different category. So all of these cosmetic products have different rules and regulations. And that's what I realized is there's a lot of rules and regulations because it goes through the FDA in the US and Health Canada in Canada, and those are highly regulated bodies. The interesting thing is if to even research this on the internet, there's almost no information. So they are preventing people from even entering the market. Yeah, because that's how
Wow.
much money there is in the beauty industry.
Sure.
So I've been on a very fascinating journey just learning all about this
Yeah, I bet.
and seeing the commercial pot like it's basically it's just for money. Everything is about money on this planet, unfortunately. And the way everything is structured is to keep people like me out, keep the big guys running, and they can do whatever they want. But I feel like we also need to be aware of that that's actually what's happening. And for me, it's about health. I think
Right.
the health quality of the products has been the most important thing to me, which is why I designed the line the way I did. And then obviously the spiritual component, right? So that's why I've designed it the way that I've designed it. But at the same time, it's definitely entering the market from a very unique angle that feels still supportive for big business.
Right, right. I mean, and can we change the world by buying a different lip balm? Mm, one little bit at a time.
Yeah,
One little
definitely.
bit at a time. So
I
before
agree.
we close, can you share how you've integrated the spiritual pieces into this product?
Yeah, so the brand is where beauty meets spirituality, and I decided to name it Brahmi. And Brahmi is the feminine version of Brahma, which is the Hindu god that created the universe. So Brahma is also divine consciousness, and we are Brahma itself. So if you do yoga, you've probably heard that you are Brahma. And so it's a daily reminder that you are consciousness and that you create your reality. So every aspect of the brand has a physical component and the spiritual component. So when you use the products, there's a beauty meditation that you listen to, and then you're recommended to hold the products in your hands, infuse it with your beauty intention, and then to lovingly apply the products and then to start your day with a moment of presence. So we take everyday routines and turn them into spiritual rituals and moments of presence because we are all so busy that we need to remember to take those moments for ourselves. And I know it doesn't matter how busy you are going to do your skincare ritual. So that's kind of how the idea started, and then incorporating um, the symbolic energy in the products too. All of my products awaken the heart chakra, and the teas awaken different chakras, the heart chakra, the third eye, as well as the crown chakra. So they're chakra activating, self love activating, and just daily reminders that you are the divine and that you create your reality, whatever that reality is.
It's so good. Thank you so much, Lily. I have loved this conversation. I feel empowered and educated and in need of new lip balm and all of these things. Thank you so much. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, how they can get your products, all the good things.
So you can find our products online at brahmirituals.com, and all of our social media is also Brahmi Rituals. So Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and I have a lot of videos online where you can watch me do my energy healing facials, and you're welcome to follow along using your Brahmi Rituals products. All of the products have energy healing in it. So when you follow me and do the facials, you're activating the energy healing that's already in the products. And I ship to
That's
Canada and the US.
amazing. Yay! That's so amazing. Thank you so much. We will link everything
Thank
down
you.
in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a wonderful conversation with you.